Bench testing Jay's 1959 Cadillac headlight switch with the fog light option. First test, parking and taillight function. Second test, fog and taillight function. Third test, headlight, taillight function. Fourth test, dash light and dome light. Fifth test, headlight contact control load test. 6, Pel nut tool installation. 7, fog light control knob upgrade. Bench testing Jay's 1959 Cadillac headlight switch with the fog light option. Using a fully charged battery on charge, our test voltage is 13 volts. Following the diagram for the 1959 Cadillac headlight circuit, we see that we have this circuit shows a fog light switch option, which is this switch right here, which controls the fog lights and the parking lights. This here Cadillac, using a generator, didn't have enough supply voltage at low speeds to run fog lights and the front parking lights at the same time. So we'll demonstrate where the fog light will come on and the parking lights in the front will come off, but the tail lights remain on. First position test, parking and tail lights. Have an indication on the test stand where we see tail light indication and parking lights. And off. Next test we'll be conducting is for the fog light. Pulling the switch out to first position, we have an indication of tail and front parking lights. Rotating the fog light switch, have an indication of front fog lights, and the front parking lights come off. As noted before, the parking and the fog lights are independent and will not turn on both at the same time. The switch is wired to either run the front parking lights or the front fog lights. Parking and fog. In the headlight position, and this switch does not function to turn the fog lights on in the headlight position. Only in the parking light position can we control the fog and the front parking lights. And off. Next test we'll be conducting is the headlight and taillight test. As mentioned before, the tail lights will remain on, the front parking lights will come off, and the headlights will turn on. So going back to first position, we have tail and parking. Pulling the switch out to full extension, we see that we have tail and headlights. Parking lights in the front are off, tail lights remain on. And off. Next test we'll be conducting is for the dash and dome light. Pulling the switch to first position, we have an indication of tail and parking lights. Rotating the switch counterclockwise, grounds the circuit for the dome light. And off. Pulling the switch to second position, to headlight, we have an indication of tail lights and also headlights. Again, rotating the switch. The ground, we have dome light. Looking at the bulb that indicates dash lights, we're going to move the rheostat from full on to gradually reduce the brightness of the bulb to an off position. Off. Gradually rotating again, bringing the dash lights on, dim position, to a full on position. Full on. Off to a dim position. And on. Full on. And off. Next test we'll be conducting is for the headlight circuit load test. We've connected a halogen bulb, which draws considerably more amperage than our test stand. Pulling the switch out to first position, indication of fog and tail. Rotating the fog light switch, you see that we have now the front parking lights on. And now switching to headlight position, we have an indication of the halogen bulb coming on. Back to parking, to fog, and off. First position, fog and tail. Rotating the fog light switch, parking and tail. Headlight switch, dome light switch, grounding. Dash lights, full on. And off. Switch is off. Included with the switch is the panel nut. And since the panel nut is buried deep inside the bezel, we're including a special tool to tighten up the panel nut. Once the panel nut is installed, we're going to include the fog light control knob. It's been upgraded with a metal keyway. Fits nice and tight.